what's up, everybody? Hope everybody having a wonderful day out there today, man. Hope y'all have a beautiful day. Hopefully God has blessed y'all today. Of course, y'all are blessed because y'all are alive and y'all are here. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for tuning into the podcast. Today we're going to read Eccessiates, but we're not just going to read it. We're going to actually understand it, get what our Father is showing us in the Word, and we're going to actually break down, this is how I actually break down what I'm reading, the way Father YAHUAH has showed me to do it. And that way I can get a bigger understanding, a bigger knowledge, and more wisdom of what he's really trying to show me, more than what the text is actually saying. So it's like basically diving on the inside of our Father's words. Just like, in life, how we have to dive on the inside of ourselves in order for us to show in the physical of who we really are. It's on the inside. So that's the way Father YAHUAH has showed me. That's why I'm able to gain so much wisdom and knowledge from him when he sent me to certain scriptures. But this particular scripture that I was sent to was from Mother Ruck, the Holy Spirit. So we're going to see what she has to say, what she's showing us, and what she's showing me. But this is also me sharing it with y'all. So we're going to see. And it's not going to be like I'm just reading it. I'm going to actually stop and show y'all how exactly I break it down and go through it so that you all can actually do the same thing and learn from it. So this is Ecclesiastes chapter 3. So if y'all want to turn there, y'all can. We can get started in like 10 seconds. Because this right here is going to be so great. Like, y'all going to see it's going to be like an explosion, like a volcano explosion in your mind. Like, when I first start studying like this and gaining knowledge, and wisdom like this, it just like something just exploded. And this helps you be able to activate exactly what Father YAHUAH is telling you, rather than just understanding it and knowing it. It actually allow you to activate in your life. It only takes one simple word from Father YAHUAH to open you up and to to reform you. You know what I'm saying? To change you, to get you going, right? So Ecclesiastes chapter 3 says, to everything there is a season. So that's very key right there to start off with. To everything there is a season. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the synonym finder. What I usually do is go on Google, and I go to I type in the word that I'm looking for, and I actually type in the meaning of the word, and I actually type in the synonym of the word. But first, we'll do the meaning of the word, so we can see what they have to say, because usually, like, you can't go off the first thing you see, which is, the way life's set up. So we have to dive deep into it. So this is the 3 points that they gave for the definition of season. Each of the 4 divisions of the year, spring, summer, autumn, and winter, marked by particular weather patterns and daylight hours resulting from the Earth's changing positions with regard to the sun. Number 2, a set or sequence of related television programs. Number 3, add salt, herbs, pepper, or other spices to food. And number 4 was the same thing. Make wood suitable for use as timber by adjusting its moisture content to that of the environment in which it will be used. So right there, we just got 4 different definitions about season to try to show you that it's a difference, right? As the first one said, it's 4 divisions of a year, right? And then number 2 says it's a set of sequence, right? And number 3 said you can add salt, herbs, pepper, or other spices to, right? And number 4 is make wood suitable for use as timber and by adjusting its moisture content, right? So when you look at that, you can't really get too much from it. You get all this from it, but it shows you in 4 different sections about season, and depending on what you're looking for, that's kind of how it would move, with you. But that's just to get a broad understanding about season of what they put, which we know as many other definitions about season, right? So to break that down, right, into a more deeper, understanding. We just check that out to just check it out to see what we see, right? To bring it into formation, right? But then what we'll do is now we'll go into the synonym of season. And this is going to break it down, even deeper. Because that's kind of like what those definitions is kind of what man put for how they will look at season, what they mean in the season is for them. But we're going to find our own meaning based on the synonyms of what we reading for as far as the scripture, what God has given us, right? Hopefully y'all understand that. So it says, to everything there is a season. So when we look at the first synonym of season, we get flavor. So there's a flavor, right? And flavor is alter or enhance. So alter or enhance the taste of food or drink by adding a particular ingredient. So when we look at our life, and when we look at what the word says, to everything there's a season. So we must understand in these seasons that there's a particular flavor of ingredients that needs to be added in our life so that our life can have an abundance of changes, right? And changes to the way that Father Yahweh wanted to be in those seasons. You see what I'm saying? So it may be a season where we down. It may be a season while we up. It may be a season while we rejoicing. It may be a season while we going through trials and tribulations. It may be a season while we going through anything, dealing with what we're dealing with on this earth, right? But in each season, there must be a flavor of a particular ingredient added in those seasons, right? To enhance a better position for what we're going through. So we don't just get in a situation and, I'm stuck. I'm going through trials and tribulations and I'm in stress and I feel sad. We don't just sit in the stress. We don't just sit in the sadness. It must be a flavor of a particular ingredient that we must use from God, Father Yahweh, to enhance us out of that situation. You see what I'm saying? Because we're not children of God to be suffering, going through stressful situations and being down bad in our trials and tribulations. There's scriptures in the Bible that tell us we must rejoice in going through our trials and tribulations. So we must rejoice in going through our trials and tribulations. It must be a secret ingredient that has a particular flavor to enhance us while we in there. So we must understand that, right? So the next one is adding flavor to. Add salt, pepper to. And then we got those, because those are closed out. They don't let you click on them, right? So we got the next one, we got spice, right? So flavor, so spices, flavor with spice. So in this particular flavor, we're adding a particular ingredient to enhance. So we must add a spice to what we're going through, right? So as we add this spice to it, the next word is mature. An organism become physically mature. So this calls growth. So in these seasons, what we're doing is, right, we adding flavor, that's adding a particular ingredient, right, to enhance us. And with this particular ingredient, it has some type of spice to it to make us mature, right? Mature and what? And that's where we got age, especially with reference to an alcoholic drink. Mature are allowed to mature. So age is with a reference to an alcoholic drink. Mature are allowed to mature, right? So when you age, you grow, right? So mature shows a physical maturity, right? But at the same time, when you mature, you're showing growth within your mindset, the way you actually operate, right? And at the same time, you're aging in it, you're growing in it, right? And the next word is mellow. Make or become mellow. So you become mellow in it. So we could look a little more deeper into mellow, because it just say make mellow. So mellow is to call seasoning, condition, mature, age, or old, right? to ripe, to soft, to lush, easygoing, tolerant, right? Gentle, pleasant, kindly, kind-hearted. So that's what mellow is, right? So can you see that in these seasons, these things are supposed to happen in these seasons? Every season has its time where you add the flavor, right, of a particular ingredient to enhance yourself, to add spice to what you enhancing, to mature in it, to grow in it as you age, and to also be mellow in it, right? And that's where it is conditioned, bringing something into a desired state for use. So wow, look at that. You bringing something into a desired state for use. You bringing something into a desired state for use. You bringing something into a desired state for use. What are you bringing in? This ingredient, this flavor, this spice. You bringing this in to enhance you, right? To mature, to age, to grow, to be mellow, right? So you conditioning yourself in these seasons. You're not just going through a season to just go through a season. You're going through a season to condition yourself into a better you, into the way that God wants you to be. So every season that we're going through, no matter if it's good or bad, it's for ourselves to enhance, to grow, to add flavor, to add an ingredient, to mature ourselves, to grow. So this maturity, this enhancement, this new ingredient cause us to have this condition to actually grow with this that we have formed within ourselves, and it mellow us, right? So then we got acclimatize. So we got to go to the definition because it's not showing it. So acclimatize is to adjust, to adapt, accustom, to harden, come to terms with, integrate, find one's feet. You hear that? You hear that? Accommodate. Right? What else we got? Condition. So look at these words, how they all match up with each other, right? And how they just bring you to this one form of what it should be. Because when we look at season as the word taught us season. You know, the winter, spring, fall, and autumn, right? And that's just the only way we look at it. Far as like on the basic scale of what they taught us, until we actually come to Father YAHUAH and we understand that we go through different seasons in life throughout, you know, the terms of the seasons that of whatever you know we're going through, right? But in those seasons, what are we doing to add flavor to ourselves, to add the ingredient of God to ourselves, to enhance ourselves so that we can grow, so that we can mature? What are the spices that we add into it? You know what I'm saying? Are we becoming more humble in it? We become more mellow in it, more kind-hearted in it? Are we conditioning ourselves in it? What are we doing in this time, right? Acclimatize ourselves, right? So the next one is temper. Improve the hardness of elasticity. I can't even get that word, y'all. Elasticity of steel or other metal by reheating and then cooling it. Improve the hardness of elasticity of steel or other metal by reheating, then cooling it. Temper. So we're improving the hardness and elasticity of steel or other metal by reheating and then cooling it. So we healing ourselves, right? We healing ourselves because we're improving who we are through these hard times. We're improving who we are through these good times. We're not just staying at this certain area. You know what I'm saying? We're not just stuck here in bondage. We're not just stuck here in the rejoicement of what God has given us, but we're actually increasing, improving ourselves, right? By reheating and then cooling it. Prepare. Make something ready for use or consideration. So you're making something ready for use or consideration by preparing yourself. So in these times of seasons, we preparing ourselves ready for use or consideration of what we have already thought of in our mind. We already prepared ourselves for this, right? And then we got prime, of first importance, main. So we making this the prime thing to do in our lives. Making this the prime thing to do in our lives. What are we making the prime things to do in our life? We add flavor, right? A particular ingredient, alter to do what? To enhance ourselves, right? And then on top of the enhancement with this ingredients, we add in spice. What is spice? A flavor, right? To what? To maturity, right? To grow within what? Age, throughout time, right? And throughout this time, we're going to mellow ourselves, which we're going to be kind-hearted, right? And what this does, it is condition us, you know what I'm saying, to bring into a desired state for use. For use of what? Acclimatize. So acclimatize what? Is to adjust, right? To adjust what? Temper, to improve the hardness of the elasticity of steel or other metal by reheating and then cooling it. So we fixing ourselves up throughout these times to do what? To prepare ourselves, right? To be ready for what? The time and the season of what Father Yahweh has put us through is prime. It's first importance. It's main. It's the main thing we should be doing. So we get that understood by just reading that first. That's not even the whole verse. That's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like the fifth word in Eccessiates. So for that right there, you know what I'm saying, we already got so far on just starting out. You see what I'm saying? So understanding this right here from season already give us the foresight to be able to understand and to be aware of where we're going to as we read this scripture more and more. You know what I'm saying? So we can already see, okay, Father Yahweh is finna give us flavor. He's finna give us this ingredients to enhance us, to give us spice, to mature us, to grow us, to mellow us into this condition, to adjust the way we are, which is temper, right? To improve us, right? And to also prepare us to make this the main importance when we into a certain season in our life, right? So that right there, man, that's just a whole lot already. That's just a whole lot already. So let's see what's next. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heavens. And a time to every purpose under the heavens. To everything there is a season and a time. So let's go look at time. You know how we see time, right? So let's see. So when we go to the definition, hold on. Go to the definition of time. Let's go to the definition of time, y'all. Let's see. So we got how many we got? Okay, we got 4 different definitions. The indefinite continued progress of existence and events in the past, present, and future regarded as a whole. A point of time as measured in hours and minutes past midnight or noon. That's the one we know about, right? Plan, schedule, or arrange when something should happen or be done. Okay? Measure the time taken by a process or activity or a person doing it. Okay. Those are some great definitions, right? So let's go to the synonyms. So say to everything there is a season and a time. So we've seen what season is, right? So now let's see what time is. So we got hour, a period of time equal to 24th day of a day and midnight and divided into 60 minutes. So we got hour, and then we got o'clock, used to specify the hour and telling time. We got rhythm, a strong, regular, repeated pattern of movement or sound. Tempo, the speed in which a passage of music is or should be played. Beat, a strong rhythm in popular music. Y'all hear this? Post. A rhythmical throbbing our arteries as blood is propelled through them, typically as felt in the wrist or neck. Flow. The action or fact of moving along in a steady, continuous stream. Meter. The SI base unit length equivalent to the approximately 39.37 inches, first introduced as the unit of length in the metric system. Measure. A plan of course of action taken to achieve a particular purpose. Cadence. A modulation or inflection of the voice. Pattern. Repeated decorative design. Schedule. Arrange or plan an event to take place at a particular time. So these are key facts, y'all. Like, this is actually showing us in the season what we should be doing with our time, right? So I'm gonna go back to hour. So in the hour, it's a period of time equal to 24th part of a day and night divided into 60 minutes, right? So within our time in the seasons, what are we doing? Like, what are we actually doing in those times? And when we went to season, we seen that we supposed to be enhancing ourselves with an ingredient from who? Father Yahweh, right? To let me go back to it. Yeah, and adding, so we're supposed to be adding a particular ingredient, right, to alter or to enhance ourselves with spice, right, to mature, to grow, and age, and mellow, right, ourselves, which is to be kind-hearted, right, and to condition ourselves to acclimatize, to adjust, right, temper, to improve ourselves, and to prepare ourselves, and we're supposed to make this main. So we're supposed to do all this right, all that right. We're supposed to do that within time, so within the hour, you know what I'm saying? And we know within our time, the way the world's set up, they give us 24 hours in the day. So within our time, within the day, those are things that we supposed to be doing within the season, right? Then we got o'clock. You specify the hour and telling time, okay? And then we got rhythm, a strong, regular, repeated pattern of movement or sound. So by doing what season has taught us to do, what Father Yahweh has showed us what to do in season, we're supposed to make this a rhythm. It's supposed to be strong. This is supposed to be regular. And this is supposed to be a repeated pattern, right, to improve ourselves. Tempo, the speed at which a passage of music is or should be played. So we have to find that tempo within what we're doing. We have to find that just that happy place, that place where we're supposed to be in, to find that tempo to where it's not too much for us to be doing this. It's not too much. It's not too fast. It's not too slow, but it's just right. It's the right tempo for us to be doing this. Like, that's what you got to find. You know what I'm saying? Like, so how I'm coming on the podcast and in my season right now, this is good for me. This is not too much for me to do. This is not hard for me to do. I'm not rushing it to do it. This is my tempo. This is my flow of how I'm doing it the way Father Yahweh has given to me to do it. So in my season, I'm enhancing myself, right, with an ingredient of God of what he has given me to be able to dive deep into what he's showing me, right, to help others out and also to help myself out. And he's adding spice to what I'm learning, right? He's adding maturity to my learning. He's aging it. He's placing it into me so I could take it with me throughout the time, right? And he's also mellowing me and making me kind-hearted by giving this out to you all. And at the same time, he's what's the other word? Oh yeah, he's conditioning me, right? And adjusting me and improving the way I am and preparing me, right? And I'm making this my main thing to do, right? So we must find the tempo, right? Because the tempo is very important when you really think about it. This word ain't just here for a reason. It's very important when you really think about it, because if you can't find a tempo in your life because life is just moving too fast for you, or you stuck out doing things of the world, or too many people around you, you won't have that tempo for God. So anytime you do try to find time for God, you may rush the process and just, let me just read a verse to get it out the way to feel good. Let me just read the verse before I go to bed tonight just to get the word of God in. You know what I'm saying? You're not actually diving deep and meditating on what he wants you to do. So that's how you find your tempo, right? So first we got the hour. Like I said, we got 24 hours in the day. So we must know how to utilize our time well, right? And then we got rhythm. So we're supposed to be strong into this, make it a regular thing to be doing, and also repeat a repeated pattern, right? And then the tempo, we're supposed to find our speed into this, to where it's not you rushing it. It's not you just, let me get God an hour. Let me just get God this time before I go to bed. Let me just wake up real quick and do this real fast. No, you have to make time in order to actually take time to prepare yourself to actually allow God to work with you and actually show you things. And don't allow this life to take you over to where the world is more important than what God got going on, right? And then we got beat, a strong rhythm in popular music. So beat is a strong rhythm. So he's saying we need a strong rhythm in what we're doing. This ain't just, like I said, let me hurry up and get this done. Your rhythm has to be strong. Like, this is a key thing. Like, you know, like, so when I read, I'm ready to get into the reading. I'm excited to get into the reading. I'm happy to get into the reading. I'm ready to read because I know Father Yahweh is finna enhance me with this ingredient. You know what I'm saying? And give me some flavor, give me some spice into my life. You know what I'm saying? So I can grow, so I can age into this, so I can actually be conditioned, be prepared on the timely manner. You know what I'm saying? Then we got post a rhythmical throbbing of the arteries as blood is propelled through them, typically as felt in the wrist or neck. Get your blood to flowing, right? Get your blood to flowing. You hear this? This is very exciting, y'all. It gets your blood to flowing by doing this. Like I said, it gives you this energetic feelings. It gives you this power. It gives you that volcano explosion to just understand what Father Yahweh is actually telling you within just like the first verse. Really, we only in the first verse, right? Flow, the action or fact of moving along in a steady, continuous stream. So that flow actually goes back to what? The tempo. The action or fact of moving along in a steady, continuous stream. It's no rush to this. It's you find that tempo, got your flow. You got your flow, you find your tempo. Boom. Meter, the SI base unit of length. First introduced as the unit of length in the metric system. So this is a unit of length. You see what I'm saying? The unit of length. The unit of length. The first introduced as the unit of length in the metric system. Right? So that is meter. So when we look at meter, what are we looking at? Length. So when we're looking at length, what are we looking at? How long can we continue to do this rhythm that Father Yahweh has given us? How long can we continue to enhance ourselves in the season? Because in the season, there's no time limit to when that season is going to end for you. You don't know how long it could take a year for you to step into that season of going through trials and tribulations. So how long it says that we have to rejoice in the seasons that we're going through, or this trials and tribulations, whatever. How long can you continue this? You have to find your rhythm in this. You have to find your tempo in this. You have to find your beat in this. You have to find your pulse in this. What's going to get you going? What's going to cause your rhythm to flow? You know what I'm saying? What's going to cause the ingredients that Father Yahweh has given you to flow? How you going to find that tempo? How you going to find that? You know what I'm saying? What's going to keep you steady? What's going to keep you going? And whatever you find within that, can this last? You know what I'm saying? Because we don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's just like if anyone, you know what I'm saying, God forbid, anyone didn't have money, you know what I'm saying, and they're looking for a job and they're going to apply for jobs. They don't know how long they're going to be homeless until they get a job. But how long could they keep themselves up until they get that job, until they get that first paycheck, until they get another paycheck? You know what I'm saying? The first paycheck to eat, you know what I'm saying, and the next paycheck to save something, and the next paycheck to save something and eat, and the next paycheck to save something and eat until they can get them a place. You know what I'm saying? How long can you last in that situation? So that's length and time, because this is what happened in seasons. This is what our Father is showing us, right? So then we got measure, a plan of our course of action taken to achieve a particular purpose. So in this whole thing, we must have a plan, a course of action taken to achieve this in these seasons. A whole blueprint has to be made out. And the only way the blueprint, not a blueprint for ourselves to actually say, okay, I'm going to come up with this, but we actually have to get into the Word and actually take what God, Father Yahweh, has given us from the Word and then make it a blueprint, make it a plan. Because in this course of action taken, how can we achieve our particular purpose for Father Yahweh within that season so that he can take us to the next season, and the next season could be a better season for us. And it won't be like the last season. And because you don't want to keep going through a bad season. You want to take that bad season and turn that what, how can I put it? That so-called bad season won't be a bad season when you're doing this right here. Because it will become a good season because of what Father Yahweh has given you within that season of what you thought was bad will end up turning out good, and then the next season it will increase and it'll be a much better season because we had to plan the course of action. We had a blueprint, and the blueprint that we need is Father Yahweh blueprint, right? So that's why we study to show ourselves approved, right? So then this is all teaching us foresight, right? This is all teaching us how to plan ahead. In every season, this is what you're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? This is how it's supposed to go. This is what you're supposed to be doing in these seasons and not take it for granted. Right? Then we got cadence. A modulation or inflection of the voice. A modulation or inflection of the voice. So not only are we supposed to be doing these things, but we are supposed to be speaking it out to Father Yahweh of how we're going to go about doing these things so that he hear us and that he understand that this is what I'm going to do. Because what it said to repeat, to cause this to be a repeated pattern. So if we're causing this to be a repeated pattern, we must also speak on this because the power of the tongue is very powerful. So what we speak, a lot of things actually come into real life, right? So that's why we got to be careful of how we speak and what we speak. But if we speaking to enhance ourselves, to add flavor to our lives while we're going through certain situations, we're going to speak power into our lives from Father Yahweh. So condense. Then we got pattern, a repeated decorative design. A pattern is a repeated decorative design. So we must form this pattern in our life so that we can design it the way Father Yahweh want it to be. So every season won't be so hard. You know what I'm saying? So if it's a good season, we're gonna rejoice, we're gonna be happy, excited, do all these things. And when it's a bad season, it's not gonna change. It's gonna be the same thing because a bad season won't exist. You know what I'm saying? That will be cut short. You will cut that out easily because you will already be prepared and have a plan of how to already go about each season. You know what I'm saying? So there wouldn't be no such thing as a bad season, right? So that's why we have to cause a pattern to happen. And it have to be decoratively designed by Father Yahweh for our lives so that we can actually benefit from this. And he can also benefit from this, right? And others will benefit from us from going through the seasons that we went through so that then we can bless them with abundance of what we got from Father Yahweh through our seasons, right? So the next one is schedule. arrange or plan an event to take place at a particular time. So arrange or plan an event to take place at a particular time. Y'all get that, right? Set, put, lay, or stand something in a specified place or position. Put, lay, or stand something in a specified place or position. So in these seasons, everything must be put, lay, or stand something in a specified place or position to what? To help us, to enhance us, to grow us, to mature us, right? To become better. We got to make this is a lifestyle. This is not just words that we reading. You know what I'm saying? This is not just a feel-good message. This is a lifestyle. Like, we must become what we study. And when you study so much, you're going to become what you study. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be activated because you then going to know, like, oh, I remember when I was reading that and it said that, oh, this is how I'm supposed to be moving. This is what you're supposed to be doing in your seasons. This is exactly what you're supposed to be doing in your seasons. Right? Set up. You see how all this is building up, right? Place or erect something in position. Place or erect something in position. Putting yourself in position for the better, right? Putting yourself in position for the greater. Arrange. Put things in a neat, attractive, or required order. Hear that? So arrange. Put things in a neat, attractive, or required order. Y'all already know. Organize. Arrange into a structured whole order. Arrange into a structured whole order. So when you take all this, right, and you put all this into a whole order, what are you going to get from it? You see? You're going to enhance yourself to be a better child for God. And God, Father Yahweh, is going to already know that my child Quan, he's ready. I know he's ready. Why I know he's ready? He took my word that I gave him. He studied my word. And he actually enhanced himself, right, through my ingredients to become a better child for me. So I know in this season that he's going to go through, he's good. And I'm going to bless him in that season. Why? Because he arranged it. He arranged his season into a structured whole order. What kind of order? A holy order. Right? A holy order. Father Yahweh, a holy order. Why? Because I was prepared. Right? I was prepared. And I conditioned myself for this. In what? Time. So what? So that I can be ready to do what I need to do for my Father and for myself and for others. And I be blessed. Right? Okay now, y'all. We got fix. Fasten something securely in a particular place or position. Fasten something securely in a particular place or position. And then we got measured again, right? And then we got meter again. We running out of words, y'all. And then we got count. Determine the total number of a collection of items. Determine the total number of a collection of items. And then we got clock again. Attain or register a specified time, distance, or speed. Attain or register. So we must attain this time, and we must put forward the register how this could possibly go for us. Because right now, he's teaching us how to plan ahead when these seasons come. So when these seasons come around, we already know how to plan ahead through all these things, right? So we must know how to attain, how to manage our time, you know what I'm saying? How to put it into order, total it out, you know what I'm saying? And put it into a blueprint to where it's already formed. So this pattern that we start is going to be a continual on pattern, on and on again throughout the cycles of life, to where no matter what's going on in your life, you're going to always be happy within every season, because you continue to improve yourself. You continue to condition yourself. You continue to add flavor to yourself, add the ingredient of Father Yahweh to yourself, and get yourself through anything. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not going to matter, because it's only a season, and all your seasons, you're happy. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about before you came to Father Yahweh, right? And let's say you just out there in the regular world and you just living it up, right? Something bad just happened out of nowhere. And you're like, man, car broke down. Now what? Don't got no money. Don't got good credit. Friends, family members, they on the same page. They really not doing too good, so they can't help you. Now you just going through it. And I actually went through this before, right? And you just basically like, man, I don't got nobody to really help me in this. But then you remember like God, right? So now you want to utilize God for what you want. But see, my time, I was already with Father Yahweh going through it. You know what I'm saying? I was already with him. So I didn't use God because I lost a car. You know what I'm saying? God actually blessed us with a new car, a way better car, right? But let's just say people in the world, they don't have none of that, right? And they're like, oh, God. Then they want to call on God, use God for what they want to use him for, because they didn't do none of this that we learning within season. They didn't add no ingredient to their life before this happened. They didn't add no enhancement to their life before this happened. They didn't mature in life. They didn't age in anything good for their life. You know what I'm saying? They only aged in all the bad things, right? And they didn't condition themselves, prepare themselves, and none of the time that they had to do it. And this thing happened to where they lost their car. Now they stuck. And now they calling on God. You see what I'm saying? And our Father say, no, don't do none of that. You want to already do all of that, right? Before you call on me to come help you get a new car. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to fix that. I'm going to fix your mind so that you know to prepare yourself, so that you know to already foresee things before these things happen. And this is a whole pattern in your life. This is a rhythm. This is a tempo in your life. This is a beat. This is a pulse. It gets your blood to flow and to know that you need to be doing this. You know what I'm saying? And you need to know for the length of time of why you're doing this, right? You need to condense yourself for this, right? And you need to schedule and set up yourself and arrange and organize and fix yourself for this stuff, right? So that you can attain the right things that you need in your life, right? So we really need to understand that Father Yahweh is the key to life. Father Yahweh is the one that will uplift us and put us in position for a better life. You know what I'm saying? Because when you in the world, you don't think about these things. And a lot of God's children don't think about these things because they don't know that it's in the Word. And like I said, always, everything that's going on in this life, everything that's going on in this life is in the Word. It's in the Bible. It's in here. We have to dig deep. You know what I'm saying? We can't just try to read through the book and be like, okay, I read the Bible. I know what it's about this, da-da-da-da-da. No, it ain't that. This book is to heal you. This is the word of Father Yahweh. It's to heal us. It's to actually help us with everything in life. Because if we take this same preparation, if we take this same foresight and actually utilize it in everything that we do in life, guess what? How can we have a bad season? How can you have a bad season? You see what I'm saying? So what the words say, to everything there is a season. To everything. Everything. There's a season. So what I said, throughout anything in our life, we can take this preparation and add flavor and ingredient to enhance ourselves in everything in our life, right? And a time to every purpose under the heavens. In a time to every purpose under the heaven. And a time to every purpose under the heaven. And y'all just seen what we read about time. So we got to get right, y'all. We got to get our mind right to actually be able to receive God's words in a deeper aspect than what we think he wants. God is not basic. You know what I'm saying? God is not just standard. You know what I'm saying? Our Father is not just like, oh, that's what God said, okay, I get it. He's not like that. How can you think the one that created the whole world, created creation, created all these things is basic and standard, and just you could just read his word and think you just get it because it just say that word and you just think it's just that word. It's not just that word. That's what the word taught you that word is. So when the word teach you that the word is that word, then you're going to assume that that's just the word that God is using, but God is not like that. That's just what the world programmed you to think that word means. But what that word means is more than what you think it means. So when you dig deep into it and you actually understand who God is, then you actually understand what he's saying to you. Like how I was able to read these 2 words and give y'all all of that and show y'all what God is doing. That's because he created me to grow like that, as I've been reading and asking him for understanding and knowledge and wisdom to grow me into this way. And he has, and he's able to utilize me to help others do it the same way. But you got to have that time. You know what I'm saying? You got to have that tempo. You got to have that flow. You got to have that rhythm, that pattern to be able to do this, to be able to take time out your busy day from being in the world and actually come and say, okay, I'm going to get into this word and I'm going to go and break it down because I need to know what God is trying to tell me, because whatever God is trying to tell me is going to help me. You know what I'm saying? So you won't get crisscrossed into bondage by anybody or anything in this world. You know what I'm saying? So to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heavens. That's just the first verse, y'all. That's just the first verse. And see, my thing is, I got to study this whole chapter 3, and it is 22 verses, which is nothing to me because I already studied like a 33 verse chapter. So, you know, I gotta do my homework for Mother Rock for what she gave me, because she has given me three scriptures so far, 3 chapters that I read so far. Yeah, 3. So she gave me Eccessiates, and then she gave me Proverbs 9, and then she gave me Proverbs 31, I think. Yeah, which I'm gonna be teaching y'all on. So, I already done it. I already done Proverbs 9, Proverbs 31, and the other one was what was the other one? I forgot what the other one was. It was either in Joshua or it was something, I forgot. But I'm definitely gonna teach y'all on it. Let me see if I got it. See if I got it. I don't see it. I think it's in my laptop. Yeah, it's in my laptop, the other one. But yeah, I got like 3 different chapters to teach y'all on. So, 2 Corinthians, that's the one. So it's 2 Corinthians, and then it's Proverbs 9, chapter 9, and Proverbs chapter 31 that I'm gonna do a teaching on, that Mother Rock, Holy Spirit gave me to do. But this is another one that I'm gonna finish, but I just want to go over that with y'all. Because it's a lot it's not going to fit on the podcast or the YouTube to go over the whole thing right now, because I was actually trying to just show y'all how to actually get into it and actually find the words and go into the definition of the words to see what they say about the words, and then you go into the synonyms of the word, and then you break it down from there, and then you go through. So that was just a teaching on that, and so y'all can see what season is actually, what Father Yahweh is showing you a season is, not what the world or man is showing you what the season is, but what Father Yahweh is showing you. He's showing you what you need to be doing in a season. You know what I'm saying? He's showing you that you need to be adding flavor and ingredients, you know what I'm saying, to enhance yourself, right? To mature yourself in time to grow, to condition yourself, right? To condition yourself and to also mellow yourself, become kind-hearted within your life, right? And to add spice into the ingredients that he has given you for your life, and immaculatize to adjust yourself in life, and to improve your temper, the way you are, the hardness that you're going through, to prepare yourself. And you need to make that your main thing to be doing, and you need to utilize your time correctly so that you can do that, right? And within that time, you need to find your rhythm, you need to find your tempo, you need to find your beats, and you need to find your flow, and something that's going to get your blood to boiling, to be moving, while you're doing all this, because this has to become a pattern in your life, right? This has to come condensed into your life to where you're able to speak these things out, and Father Yahweh understand that you're not just doing it because you feel like, oh, I need it because, oh, my car broke down, or I need it because I need money, or I need it because I need a job, or whatever the situation is. This just need to be a pattern in your life. You need to have that intimacy time with Father Yahweh so that these things can happen. And you need to understand that this need to be measured out, right? This need to be measured out. It need to be planned. You need to take action into this thing so that you can achieve your particular purpose for that season, right? And don't worry about how long it's gonna be, because this right here is something that you're supposed to love. This is something that this is helping you out mature and grow within your life. You know what I'm saying? So that you can attain all the things that need to be attained within that season, so that then you can come out and speak to everyone about it and actually help them out and benefit from it, and know that you put in work for Father Yahweh, you put in work for yourself, and not just yourself, you put in work for others, so it could bless everybody, and Father Yahweh can benefit from it, you could benefit from it, and other people can benefit from it. So based off what I just read right there in chapter 3, within that one verse, the first verse, Mother Rock just told me all that to myself. You know what I'm saying? And not to myself as in, this is what I need to be doing. She's just let me know that I'm already doing this, because I'm already doing this. Like I said, I already did 2 Corinthians, and I already did Proverbs chapter 9, and I already did Proverbs 31. And now I got to do Eccessiates 3. So in my seasons, this is what I'm already doing. And I'm just telling you all, this is what you all need to be doing. So glory to Papa Yahweh, glory to Mother Rock HaKodesh, glory to Yeshua, glory to the heavens, glory to the angels. I thank you all for everything. I thank Mother Rock for her wisdom, her knowledge and understanding, and making me wise, and allowing me to be able to attain this knowledge, and to be able to help others, because this is something I love to do. You know what I'm saying? It's no length in this. That's why I have so many podcasts, and I put them on YouTube, and I put them on Spotify and Apple and all those different platforms, because this is something I love to do. This is no length for me. It's already planned out how this is going to go for me. All these things that she just showed you all right here, I'm already doing. I've been doing it. You know what I'm saying? But this is confirmation, and this is just opening my eyes to, like, this is what you doing is, this is like, what can I call it? This is like, this is confirmation, but it's also like letting me know that I'm on the right path. I think I can say that. Let me know that you're doing the right thing, son, and this is what you're doing is what you're supposed to be doing. And I just want you to know that's the right thing. So, yeah, man, I love y'all. Hope y'all have a wonderful, peaceful day. Shalom, and be blessed.